is titled "What is SEO and How It Makes Us Visible on the Web." So today we're going to be talking about what SEO is, but most importantly, we're going to be talking about how to utilize what SEO is in your website. So your website that you create and use can actually be found online. So we're going to be things that we're going to be touching on is we're going to be going into InTouch. Let me just go to the tile because primarily this currently is where everybody's website is. And then I'll even show you if you're in New Jersey, the new rollout a little bit in Moxie Works, because we also will have our new website on Moxie as well. And I'll show you that section where SEO can be found on that website as well. So let's go, let me just set up here. Let me go into website. We're going to hit edit site just to kind of go in on the back end of SEO. So what is SEO? You can see I did a Google search of it just to give, I just wanted some formal definition of it. Search engine optimization is what SEO stands for. Search engine optimization is the process of improving the quality and quantity of website traffic to a website or web page from search engines. SEO targets unpaid traffic rather than direct traffic or paid traffic. So I'm just reading that definition right there. But really, what does that mean? If we're not familiar with what SEO is or kind of what it does or how it works, that really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to us. So the best way that I always explain SEO to agents is to actually do an example of one. So if I go to Google and something I type into Google is, say, current homes for sale in Cranbury, New Jersey. And I type that into Google and I hit search. Google, along with Bing, along with Yahoo and all of those platforms like that, is what we call a search engine. A search engine because when we go to Google and we type in words such as this, current homes for sale in Cranbury, New Jersey, I type that into Google. Google's going to give me lists of pages, links, websites that is relevant to that search. So when I go into Google and I type in whatever I'm looking for, so these words specifically here, those are what we call keywords. So each individual word, current, homes, for, sale, even the word in is marked as a keyword. Google then takes those keywords that we typed in and references those keywords to other outside websites, other links, which is in turn gives us relevant search or relevant websites that is relevant to what we're typing in here. So when we break this down and we see these different websites, these different links about what we're talking about, they are broken up in kind of two parts. One is in this blue link key here that we can click on, be brought to the URL wherever it's going. And the second part is this grayed out area right below that actual title. We actually call this blue link here an SEO title. And then below it, in this gray part area, is what we call a meta description. SEO title and meta description is how we really operate or how we conduct and create our SEO. So based upon my keywords that I used here, Google, our search engine, references those keywords, the keywords that are used in the SEO title and used in the meta description. So you can even see in our meta description to think when we're writing our SEO title and meta description, because that is something we have the ability to do. Every website that we build or use, we have control over what SEO is on our website and what keywords that we're paying attention to. So that's the importance of what it does and kind of how it operates. So if we go back into InTouch where our website is, and I'm on the edit side here, we can go and we can see in each one of these pages how our website is made up. They're made up of pages. So our home page, our Call Me Today page, our About Me page, our current listings page. All of these, think about as chapters in a book. We can change these chapters, we can move them around, but that's structure is overall of how our website is made up. So in each one of these pages, I can click on and you'll see an SEO setting. So if I click on that SEO setting, here's where I can control my SEO title, my meta description. And I can do this for each one of my pages in my actual website. So we'll see SEO title, we'll see a meta description, and so forth. And I can control all of that. I can write whatever I want in there. So let's actually do an example of one of these. I always like to start with community served, because in our InTouch website, we had a community served part where we could write whatever, we can talk about whatever communities that we actually do business in and that we, work in. So let's say that I'm going to the section, I'm going to add a community. I'm going to talk about what that community is. Let's just do Cranberry, just since it's the first one to come up. So I'm going to name that community on that page. We're talking about Cranberry, New Jersey. I'm going to search the area, meaning I'm just going to show houses available in Cranberry Township, because let's actually go to my website and see when we're talking about our community serve page, and I go into communities actually in my website. If I scroll down, here are my list of different communities. And if I click on that community, it's going to show me, some general information about Cranberry, but also most importantly, it's going to show me listings available in Cranberry, New Jersey. So when I click on that, it'll actually give me a list of properties that I could buy now currently listed or currently in Cranberry. So knowing that, we're actually, when we're building this part in our website, we're going to label Cranberry. We're going to activate the listings available in Cranberry, New Jersey. So any listings that become available in Cranberry, we can show people. And then we can go in and talk about the summary, description, some key characteristics and so forth. But at the bottom of our page, this is where we can go and write our own SEO title and meta description for this particular page in our website. So understanding that we know this page, this community page that we're talking specifically about Cranberry, New Jersey. But most importantly, what we're really showing is listings available in Cranberry, New Jersey. So knowing that, that's what's going to determine our SEO title and meta description. And also, we have to kind of shift our thinking a little bit. We also have to think when we're writing this title and meta description as our client would be thinking, meaning that this example would be perfect because if I'm a client, a potential client of ours, and I'm going to be looking for homes in Cranberry, New Jersey, this is exactly something that I could type into Google. So let's just make life easy and say that might be my title for my SEO title page for this page. And I might say something like, see current homes for sale in Cranberry, New Jersey. Now, I would touch this up a little bit just because we need it to look grammatically correct. See current homes for sale in Cranberry, New Jersey. That's something that could be our SEO title. The reason for this is because people thinking like our client might very well type in, current homes for sale in Cranberry, New Jersey. So that's why we might use that as a title. Our title should be just exactly like a title is. What's the overall topic for this page? We're talking about this page, current homes for sale in New Jersey. So that's a good title. It's a good topic. The meta description follows that. We're just describing it more. We're describing what's on the page, what they can find, but we're also hitting on other keywords that match or are similar to the keywords that we originally used. So what I mean by this is maybe instead of homes, I put something like listings. Instead of listings, maybe I should put properties, something like that. We're trying to use different keywords as much as possible, because when someone goes to Google, they might not put homes, they might put properties, they might not use current, they might say available, they might not even use Cranberry, New Jersey, they may use Middlesex County. So we're trying to formulate or use as many keywords as we can that basically describe the same thing. So if we go back to our meta description, so here I might say, current or I said current. So let's say new listings available in Middlesex. I could say something like that in my meta description, but I would have to spell available right. That's something I can do. Again, we're just trying to point out that instead of homes, I'm using listings. Instead of current, I'm using new. Instead of for sale, I'm using available. And instead of Cranberry, New Jersey, I'm using Middlesex County. We must always formulate complete sentences. We're not just trying to hit a combination of different words, or a jumble of just different keywords that we know would work. They do have to make complete sentences regardless of what we're talking about. So let's then take this, because this is just a good introduction into SEO, because we can do this for each individual community that we talk about in our website. And if I go to, let's say, Millstone, and that's a different community page, I'm talking about Millstone, New Jersey now, I could write my own Millstone, New Jersey SEO and title for this page individually as well. You will, especially if we're talking about this, you will run into consistency, or there's only so much we can say about communities. So you can even formulate kind of a draft or a plugin of just using the same kind of sentences, but just plugging in Millstone or the county that is relevant to that area. So that's just a kind of small window into what SEO and how we can use it for our website. The majority of where we should be using SEO, or where we should be paying attention to, is actually on this pages screen for our website. Now, because how typically our website is found is usually from these pages here that kind of make up our website. So one of the most common areas that does get overlooked for our website is the actual homepage SEO. Because if we go to the homepage and in that tab, I see SEO, what kind of set up already for our website is there's going to be probably things already in here for our SEO already. It's kind of pre-filled for us, but we're not happy with that. We want to make it our own. We want to make it custom for ourselves, our business. So it's a great idea to come in here and kind of edit this, make it more relevant to you and your business. A great example of what would need to be incorporated in your homepage SEO would be your name. Would be like Zach B Show for me, because typical of what people do if they're looking for you as a real estate agent is they're going to type in your name into Google. So that's why we need to start incorporating our name in our SEO and meta description, because the chances are our clients or potential clients are going to type in our name, and that's how our website will now appear to them. So for this example, to give you an example of a homepage, I have a kind of script that I use to help me and other agents. So to give you a good example, let me just copy and paste here. So this is something I created, and we'll go through it here. So for this, my SEO title could be Real Estate Agent Zach B Show buys and sells properties in and then you would plug in whatever your county that you work in. So it's Zach B Show Real Estate Agent Zach B Show buys and sells property in Monmouth County, New Jersey. This helps us because in the case may be that any of these keywords in a combination of them, whether it be Zach B Show Real Estate Agent, or real estate agent that buys or sells, that deals in Monmouth County, whatever the case may be, might come up. So that's kind of the idea and the thought process behind that, and that's how I can utilize this. On top of that, with me going into my meta description, I'm doing the same thing, but I'm again utilizing different keywords that I can use. So in my meta description, I'm just expanding on top of what my SEO title is. And again, I'm talking about the homepage of my website. I'm basically talking about all the topics that may come up on my actual website. I'm dealing with what's going on, what I do, but also I'm utilizing keywords that people would commonly put into Google and search for. So Zach Bisho is an associated real estate agent with Coldwell Banker Realty. It should be very important to note that Coldwell Banker, a lot of what these keywords do is that, someone going into Google, a lot of times would be looking for Coldwell Banker. So even a keyword that is important to use for your website which should be Coldwell Banker Realty, because if you go onto Google and you searching for properties, whatever, Coldwell Banker's website will most often come up, and that has to do with SEO as well. If you're looking to buy or sell your next listing, search through Coldwell Banker's homes to find new available listings. This should be my name. Zach Bisho is a local agent in Rumson, New Jersey, wherever you are, but services the entire Monmouth County, again, wherever you are. If you're looking for beach homes, luxury properties, single-family homes, townhouses, condos, new construction, or farms, contact her today. So when I did this for an agent, that kind of last sentence here, I did it more exclusively for the type of properties that she relates to. And this isn't a be-all, end-all script. You can kind of learn from this and see different keywords. But again, take it, make it your own. If you specialize in commercial properties, you should definitely be putting that somewhere in your meta description or even your title. Where yes, there's a right way and right keywords that you can use for this. But again, we don't want to take it and just be number one on Google. We're using this to our advantage. We're using this to find us relative clients to our business. So we could have you marked as number one on Google as the website, but if it's finding you contacts or finding you leads that don't want anything to do with your business, that doesn't do our business any good. So we should really, when we write this, make it relatable to our business, to what we deal with. And we're trying to find the right audience. So how we do that is we write a title and a meta description that is relevant to that audience. So I hope that makes sense. So now let's do the same thing, because we know InTouch is migrating over to MoxieWorks, and I do have access to MoxieWorks. I have been playing around with it. I don't, my finished product isn't there yet, but the rollout is the 7th. So I thought I'd give it a little ahead of schedule look into just how we can control this with our MoxieWorks website. So you'll see this is kind of the same view that we were in with InTouch in that kind of edit side before. This is the same kind of thing. You're going to see new tools, new features, everything is kind of a different order. But basically, this is what we were looking at before, the behind the scenes of our website, and where we can control everything. So if I go to site pages here and I go to all pages, again, this is same thing. Pages is what makes up our website. So we can see my home tab. We can see I'm going to have a recorded sessions tab, my offices, my properties, buying and selling. These are all what's going to make up our actual website. So here, if I ever, again, want to go to editing that kind of page that makes up my website, if I go to edit, and once it loads, maybe it froze on me. 1 second, guys. Maybe it was too early to show, but I will have its own separate workshop on building the new Moxie website as well when it is officially released. I'm not sure why this isn't showing now. They could be doing work on it. Yeah, they're probably doing that. So I apologize for that. Let me just try to go out. Seems like they're doing maintenance on it. Yep. So sorry about that. We won't get to show you. So stay tuned for that actual individual workshop for MoxieWorks and its own website soon to come. But with that, that kind of just about does it, guys. Does anybody have any questions